So I'm not going to talk about triple beams or my involvement in the drug game. I'm not going to talk about the crimes that I've been involved with in my arrest record. I'm not here to talk about any of that. I'm not here to talk about how many jobs I've been fired from as a youth because I have a problem with authority figures. I'm not here to talk about any of that. I'm not here to talk about the level of poverty that I came from. I'm not here to talk about any of that. What I'm here to talk about today is hip hop, and in particular, the training camp showcase. So it's only right that I start at what I call the beginning. Back in my era, you had Grandmaster Caz, Furious 5, you had Busy B, you had all of those different pioneers of hip hop. But there was one sound that I was drawn to, one voice. I think this guy's name was JDL. And the only thing I remember about his song was he said, "Yo, JDL, what's happening? Where have you been? When are you rocking again?" And as I'm walking away, I could hear them say, "God damn, I want to be like the L someday." That was my shit right there. Because I didn't want to be like the L someday. I wanted to be like the L that day. So for me, that's where it all began. I wanted to write. I wanted to be an artist after hearing that song. I don't know if it was the tonality in his voice. I don't know if it was what he was saying. I don't know if it just happened to be the day. I don't know. But that dude, JDL, put me on this path to hip hop, really. And I started to pursue it from there. I was an unsigned artist coming up. But what I did was I took a lot of my block money and I put it into big studios like Funky Slice, like Firehouse, D&D. So I was an unsigned artist in D&D studios with Jay-Z, with Gangstar, with Rakim, with Smith & Wesson. And if anybody knows about New York City hip hop, you know about D&D. It was also known as the Dirty Dungeon. Anything could happen there. In fact, we'll talk about the day I was going to rob Jay-Z in another episode. But right now, that's my beginning. So again, I didn't have a budget like those other established artists, but I had block money that I was funneling into the studios. So I really wasn't concerned, honestly, with getting a record deal. I was more so concerned with just performing, just being involved. But I did love to perform. You know what I mean? So I would go and record. I would sell tickets to various showcases. I would pay registration fees and do all of this other stuff. You know what I'm saying, to the local promoters at the day. And one thing I could tell you is, as an artist, I was always the first artist there. I was there 2-3 hours ahead of showtime. And I would always be the last artist to leave the venue, all the time. I remember weeks leading up to a performance, I would, back in the day we'd have the Walkmans. I put the Walkmans on, I would take my instrumental, and I would just go jogging in the parks. Jogging. I'd be reciting my songs in order to build up the stamina, in order to ultimately have a great live show. So that's what I would do for many years. I would do that, and I would do something called cold weather training, where I would go outside in like sub-zero weather and perform my songs without a coat on, just to build up the endurance and to build up the stamina in order to be a good live performer. So that's what I did. That really consisted, for the most part, of my life. A lot of you guys were there. A lot of you guys witnessed that. But that's pretty much where it all started from, when I wanted to be involved as an artist.